Good morning and welcome back to X-Carbovore. My name is Kian Anian and I'm excited to share with you my journey with the carnivore diet or the carnivore way of living. Today, I'm planning to do a little commentary on Dr. Anthony Shafee. His link will be in the bottom here of the video because he is one of the founders or the ground layers for the carnivore way of eating, and he's going to tell us how to start the carnivore diet. Let's open first with our intro. Okay, gang, today I'm excited to share with you Dr. Anthony Shafee. He is the plant-free MD. Now, he's had more than 20 years of medical experience. He's a neurosurgeon, and he's going to share with us how to begin the carnivore diet. Let's listen in.
Hey guys, Dr. Shafee here. Just want to do a quick little video on how to start carnivore. This is just some of the tips and tricks that I talk to people about, like my patients or friends or people trying to start carnivore. Basically, it's quite simple. It's just you're eating meat and drinking water, and that's it. Okay, you can salt to taste. Eat fatty meat. Fat's very important. You can eat organs if you want, but you don't have to. Okay, and you don't want to get too many organs because you can actually get hypervitaminosis. People talk about how nutrient dense they are, and that's true, but that can also be a problem because they're much more nutrient dense than muscle meat, which has everything you need. So by definition, it's going to have a little too much. And so if you're eating this stuff out of proportion of the animal, remember how many hundreds of pounds of muscle and fat a cow is going to have to every 1 pound of liver. Okay, it's not going to be a lot of liver every day. Okay, so a bit of liver, a bit of organs, totally fine. Don't overdo it, and you don't have to.
Okay, so the key here of what Dr. Anthony Shafee is saying is we're going to eat meat, salt, and water. That's how you do carnivore. And the meat could easily be fish or beef, but you can't leave off the fat. And yes, there are some good omega-3 fats you're going to get from like salmon or something like that, which is great for you. I have fish, but I don't eat fish every day. I might have it once or twice in a week, and I'll have it in different forms. I like to bake my salmon. Sometimes I just take the raw salmon, like you would have on sushi, and it's delicious. But it helps me get that omega-3 in, which really feels good. That extra oil. But here's the key: your fat, your protein, your salts. The salts are very good for us because our body really needs the salt. And that's it. And that's it. And I think that this particular video that Dr. Anthony Shafee made for us really sums it up in every way. Let's look at point number 2 of what Dr. Anthony Shafee wanted to share with us.
But it's important what not to eat, okay? So my hard rule is no plants, no sugar, nothing artificial. And that goes for sauces, seasonings, and drinks as well, okay? So it's not just, animal meat and animal products, right? Oh, honey, that's an animal product, right? Well, it's actually bee vomit, and they're just vomiting up concentrated nectar, okay, which comes from a plant. So if you want to get technical, it goes back, and it's not exactly an animal. But it's also sugar, okay? So there's more fructose in honey than high fructose corn syrup, okay? And so this is bad. People may argue that in the form of honey, fructose is actually good for you, but they have absolutely no evidence whatsoever to back that up with. So all of the best evidence that we have is that fructose causes harm, and so I would avoid that at all.
That's the key of what Dr. Shafee was saying, and this is, once again, plants are a no-no, plain and simple. Now, I'm addicted to my coffee, and you'll find in the carnivore community, there's a lot of us that are drinking coffee as well. Coffee does come from a plant. You do you. And yes, I'm hoping that as the time goes, this is my ramp up period. As I told you guys, I'm ramping up to the new year, and I'm hoping I can make some adjustments come January 1, 2025. My adjustment would be, okay, now I can let go of coffee. I've let coffee go before, but I want to be able to let it go and not see it again. And that would be a great thing if I can do that. Then I'd be even more committed, more involved, more into the carnivore diet. But you do you. Don't let someone dictate what's going to be the best way for you to do this, because this is a lifestyle change. This is nothing that you're just going to do for a short period of time and then go back to your old way. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? The carnivore way of eating actually heals your body from so much. So to me, it's very important that we stay serious, that we stay focused on living and eating the right way. I want to share with you 2 more points from Dr. Shafee and some of the things that he said, which I think will be very beneficial to us. Let's listen in.
Come to carnivore because they have weight, they want to lose some weight, or they want to address some medical issues, or maybe they just want to optimize their health, but they're used to having to eat in a disordered fashion with Western diets or vegetarian or vegan diets, where you have to worry about portion control and calorie count, fasting, intermittent fasting, all these things. You don't need to do this, okay? You just eat fatty meat when you're hungry and eat until you're satiated. So you eat until it stops tasting good. If meat doesn't taste good, it means you're not hungry. But if it does taste good, you are. So you should listen to that. If meat tastes good, eat it. Eat it until it doesn't really taste good anymore. Then just stop. Okay, let your body be the judge of what you need. If you're not eating carbohydrates, you can actually listen to your hunger signals. It's the carbohydrates that rearrange your hormonal signaling panels to make you think you're hungry when you're not. Okay, so if you're not eating carbohydrates, you're not going to be feeling hungry when you're not actually hungry. Okay, so you actually have to relearn your hunger signal. So that's something.
So this is very key. Eat when you're hungry. Don't eat when you're not. Our signals, we're going to have to relearn our hunger signals. That's been one of my issues. Sometimes you're just not going to be hungry, but your body is going to start speaking to you in ways that it haven't spoken before. My wife's Filipina, and almost every Filipino I know eats based on the clock, not based on the body. Even me, when I grew up in America, I'm an American. We eat 3 times a day and at least 2 snacks, sometimes 3 snacks a day. Why? Because society has told us to do it this way. But as a carnivore, I may not eat anything before 12 or 2. If I'm not hungry, I may forget to eat until the evening. Today is one of those days I'm hoping that I get a chance to eat around 12 o'clock or so, and that's because I have a dental appointment. Otherwise, I'd probably wait until later in the day to eat, but I want to get something in me before I get the big needle. Anyway, nonetheless, I think that you have to keep some of these points in mind, especially when you're starting to do carnivore. Don't be afraid of not knowing what your caloric count is for the day. Eat when you're hungry and eat until you're satiated. Make sure you're eating meat, fatty meat, fish like mackerel, like sardines, like salmon that has nice, good oil, and drink water. Most of the day, I'm drinking water. I do have my coffee, as I said before, in the mornings and sometimes throughout the day. Today, I'm trying to start cutting down slowly on the coffee because I see where I want to be in 2025. So let's look and see what else Dr. Shafee had to say, because like I said, I really believe he talks straight to the heart.
Eat meat, drink water, be happy, get on with your life, okay? You just eat until you're full and then enjoy the rest of your day. This is going to save you huge amounts of time, so don't overthink it. You don't have to track every little calorie. You don't have to track every little macro. Just eat what tastes good, stop when it stops tasting good, and your body will do the rest. Your body knows what it's doing. If you need a calculator to figure out what to eat, you're eating the wrong thing, okay?
Listen to that. Don't make it overcomplicated. You don't have to worry about following or chasing your calories. You don't have to worry about keeping track of the things you're eating. Just eat meat, salt, water, and keep it simple. I like that. It couldn't get any easier, if you ask me. Couldn't get any easier. Keep it simple. Keep it pure. Meat, salt, water. Now, if carnivore way of life seems reasonable to you, seems like something you'd like to try, what I'd suggest is talk with your physician. Let him or her know what your plans are, or you can do like I do. But I'm not a doctor. I will give you a lot of references, and I would hope that in the future we continue to look at other physicians and how they recommend for us to do the carnivore diet, because this is how I learned. Now, these doctors are not newbies. They haven't just jumped into it. And it goes against all of the training that they got in medical school, because they've been trained, of course, in nutrition, but the SAD diet, as we call it, the standard American diet. So you have that food pyramid. I think most of us remember that. We've been taught that. That's totally wrong. Absolutely wrong. It's actually flipped upside down. But as a carnivore, we take away those other layers and we keep the meats of what they've told us that we should have very infrequently. We're going to eat meat all the time, and it works super well. So how about we talk about some of my results since yesterday? As you know, my blood pressure has always been high, so much so that the physicians have put me on medications, and every time they do, I find a way to sneak myself off. I don't recommend this for you to do, but this is something that I did because I'm checking myself. I'm also conscious that these things could come back and haunt me, and I don't want your problem on my conscience. I just would take care of myself. Nonetheless, yesterday my blood pressure was finally very low, low enough to be under the standard, which is 135/85. Yesterday I was 124/70. What was that? 79? I believe, or 74. It was something of that sort. Let me see. Where is that number from yesterday? I was 124/76, which was awesome. Made me feel great. But, I don't expect that I'm going to always be under 135/85 like routinely until months from now, because I've seen it gradually go down with the carnivore way of eating. Today, my blood pressure was really exciting for me, because for 2 days in a row now, I have had a blood pressure that was below the standard. Today, I was 132/79. So a reason to celebrate. So another measurement that we look at every day is our glucose ketone index, or we call it for short GKI. Now, this gives me a more accurate picture than just ketones. Ketones are wonderful, but my ketones, and keep in mind, this is only day 8, my ketones have gone from 0.5 to 0.6, back down to 0.5, finally to 1. And yesterday, I believe I was 1.1, which that's not bad. I am therapeutically in ketosis. This morning, my ketones were 2.2, which is fantastic. It doubled overnight. That's great. And my glucose did not stay in the 5 range as it did yesterday. It went up to 5. Now my glucose is 4.7, which is great. I'm so excited about this. And what this tells you is that I'm not cheating in the evening. I'm not eating the things that I shouldn't be eating, because the moment I do, my glucose and my ketones will tell the tale. But let's say one of them looked a little bit out of whack. I can always look at my GKI. There's a calculation between the glucose and ketones that we can look at. And my GKI yesterday, I believe, was 4.5. Not bad, but not where I want. I want it to be under 3. This morning, I am 2.1 for my GKI. So I've officially gotten into that therapeutic range that I want it to be in. And this level, to be 3 and under, between 3 and 1, is good for those who have cancer, who has epilepsy, who has any measure of problems with your body. But if you stay in this level, you start to cure those problems or relieve the pain from those problems. There is a study out right now that talks about carnivore life or a ketogenic life healing or curing cancer. And that's because we're starving the cancer cell of glucose. And we're going to study that. I'm not going to study it myself, but I'm going to do a commentary with a physician who actually studied that document. So let's check out the next reading, the one I call my least important one. Well, the last of the measurements that we'll record for today is my weight. This is not the top of my list because I'm not doing this for weight loss, but maybe you are. So it's good for you also to see what can happen. It's not a guarantee, but it can happen if you too join the carnivore way of living. Yesterday, my weight was 91.7 kilograms. Today, I woke up and it was 91.0. This is wonderful result because the day prior, I lost 0.6 kilograms. Today, I lose another 0.7 kilograms, which no one can complain about that. Eventually, I'm sure I will reach a plateau. When I reach that plateau, we'll learn how to deal with those things at that proper time. Well, this video wouldn't be complete if I did not share with you what my OMAD, my 1 meal a day, is for today. Today I had a nice steak with sufficient fat and about 50 grams of butter. And I tell you, delicious. Well, I hope the information from Dr. Anthony Shafee has been valuable to you. And if it has, please check him out. Check out his page. He has awesome content, awesome information, and he goes through a lot of documentation. So he doesn't just have lip service. He really has the proof behind the things he's saying. And don't believe me, believe the medical professionals. So if you've liked what you've heard on this channel today, and you've enjoyed kind of checking out my journey, please hit the like and subscribe button and tell a friend that there's a guy like me doing a thing like this. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.